What's up guys, Joshua Tubbs here from Customatic. How you guys doing today? I am doing great. Today we have a great topic to talk about, which is how to make sure a client pays you. I need my money, man. Where's my money? So I'm trying to preach to you guys and get it through you guys' heads that even though you are creatives and you create amazing videos, you have to understand that you are a business and you must conduct yourself as such. So when it comes to clients and making sure you get paid, remember, you're not working for anyone. When you decide to start your own business as a filmmaker, director, videographer, whatever you want to be doing when it comes to the world of film, it's up to you to get the money. You know, you don't have a payroll accountant unless your business has grown to that point. But I'm saying when you're starting out, you don't have a manager, you don't have a supervisor, you don't have an accountant, you don't have payroll. You are all those things. It makes sense for you to make sure that you get to know how to do all those things. But today we're gonna talk about how to make sure a client pays you. And I'm gonna give you guys a few tips and practical things that you can do today to make sure that you get paid on time when you want, so you can go out, take your girl out for a nice dinner and a movie, or you just take her to McDonald's, save your money, and then go buy a new camera. Nah. How do you make sure a client pays you? Well, the first thing is a contract. Now, this contract doesn't have to be a crazy in-depth contract that signs their life away and their firstborn child. This contract can be a simple engagement contract between you and the client, stating the outline of the work being done and how the actual payments and whatnot's gonna be made. Now, in this contract, you should lay out exactly what's being done, what the deliverables are, the objectives of the video, the dates that it's gonna be delivered. Everything I'm talking about from this point on is actually gonna be about putting it within the contract as well. So just always remember, whatever I talk about next is gonna be also stated within this contract you create. But number one is creating the contract and making sure they sign it, because if they don't sign it, it's void. Like, number two to making sure that a client pays you is the deposit. Now you make sure that the client drops a deposit of either 25%, 50%. The number is up to you. At the end of the day, you need a deposit because when you're running your business as a videographer, filmmaker, creative, you don't have a weekly pay schedule, meaning that you're not getting paid every 2 weeks as if you're working a normal job. So you do have to remember that you're gonna have to spread this money out from this client along the duration of the project. If it's gonna take 4 weeks, then what you're gonna wanna do is probably take a deposit of 25% straight up before any work begins. This deposit is one, to book the dates that they wanna work with you. If they book to work with you, but they cancel on you and you haven't taken a deposit, that just sucks for you because one, you could have had 2 or 3 clients that wanted to shoot with you that day, but because you scheduled to work with this person, you did not shoot with those other clients. Now, if this person cancels on you, one, you didn't make any money today because if they were supposed to maybe give you the deposit on the day you started shooting, you're not gonna see it now because you technically didn't shoot. But if you get a deposit beforehand, you can always allocate that money for the day that you're gonna shoot so it retains that day. And if they decide to miss that day and cancel it, you can put in the contract that there's a cancellation policy that they have to pay a certain amount of money if they cancel, or they have to pay to make up the date, whatever, that's at your discretion. But make sure you get a deposit. So this way, you are invested as well as the customer is invested to working with you. Next, to make sure that you get paid by a client is putting a payment schedule in place. Now, a payment schedule is perfect because one, it alleviates a lot of that pressure for the client where they feel like they're not giving you $10,000 straight up or $20,000 straight up. They're able to break it up in, okay, I gave a deposit first for 25%, I have 75% left to pay off. So what happens is they can either pay 25% or 50% more on production day. So the day you actually go shoot, they have to make sure they make that payment that day as well. And then the final payment can come maybe after the final video is complete. Again, you can write down all these discretions within the contract, but make sure you communicate it clearly to them within the contract where it shows the dates where it must be paid or when it must be paid. And in this way, you're seeing money along the way of the project, not doing the whole project for 4 weeks and then waiting to see your money at the very end and then they start taking forever. Lastly, you want to put in a contract for any late payments. Anytime it's a late payment, there might be a 10% charge or something of that nature. Adding this into your contract and making sure you communicate this information to your client will make them very wary, making sure they pay you on time so they don't get any late fees and have to pay more than they have to. Adding this into your contract and conveying this with your client will make sure that they'll stay on their toes to know they have to be strict with when they pay you and when they pay you, and to do it on time. Keeping in constant contact with your client throughout the project about the creative part of it, as well as the business side and the monetary part of it, will make sure that your transaction for the business will go very smooth. At the end of the day, doing all this is great, but you still can have a client that wants to be a prick and not pay you. This sucks, and I feel very bad for you. There's people out there that are like that. Hopefully you don't have to run into them. But if you do, you can always resort back to the contract and tell the client that if they do not pay within a certain set amount of times, you can and you will take legal action. This is why the contract is great, because it does give you a buffer to have a little safety net that at the end of the day you can take legal action. And sometimes just the threat of taking legal action will make them pay you, and if they don't, at the end of the day, if you do take legal action, at least you'll be able to retain or get back some or all of the money that you were supposed to get in the process. So this is just a good way to make sure you protect yourself and help protect your client as well, and communicate the whole process when it comes to funds being paid when you're creating video. All right, guys, I hope this helps you guys out a lot, and make sure you guys get paid today, because you gotta let those clients know, hey, I need my money. If you guys got any questions, you can always leave a comment below or hit me up on Twitter at Customatic. If you need any film work done, you can always go to www.customaticonline.com. Now that's it for today. I hope you guys keep feeling well with digital content. And remember, if you didn't film it, it didn't happen. Plain and simple. Just like that. Trying to tell you.